He said that this was, first of all, one of the worst cases that he has ever seen in his 3-decade career on the bench. I got a chance to talk to him, but this captured the minds and everyone here in Detroit, and certainly in the 90s. Well, now there was a parole hearing of sorts today to see if he would release from prison. Here's what Judge Colombo, though, had to say about that.
This was one of the biggest criminal cases in Detroit for years.
Police have spent all night looking into exactly what happened when Lawrence DeLisle drove his car into the Detroit River.
August 3rd, 1989, Lawrence DeLisle, then just 28 years old, when he told authorities he had a leg cramp that caused his station wagon to go into the Detroit River and kill his 4 children, aged 8, 4, 2, and 8 months old.
He said he had a leg cramp.
Did you believe him?
I didn't.
Judge Robert Colombo Jr. was the judge in the 1990 first-degree murder case who says the jury got it right.
He was there the day before, casing the area, driving around, planning this.
But what was the motive to kill his 4 little kids?
He had a difficult job. He wasn't doing well. His father had committed suicide in the same vehicle. And I had suppressed some evidence where he had tried to do the same thing years earlier, where he tried to blow up the house. There was a leak in the dryer and he'd placed a candle by it.
There was also a confession, but the judge didn't allow the jury to hear it. Not reliable. Yet the media heard it. Was it difficult to pick a jury in this case since everyone was talking about this case?
It was extremely difficult, but I bent over backwards to make certain that Mr. DeLisle got a fair trial.
DeLisle was convicted, and the appellate courts affirmed the conviction. Fast forward 34 years. DeLisle, now 63, wants the governor to commute his sentence. Do you think he's guilty?
Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind that he's guilty.
Should he be given clemency or commute his sentence?
No, he should not. And he is basically a mass murderer.
There by Judge Colombo. Now, let me just clarify what's really going on here. He was convicted of first-degree murder. Therefore, the judge had to give him a sentence of life without parole. Okay, he'll never get out unless he applies for what we call clemency or commuting the sentence, which is something that Kwame Kilpatrick actually had. But nevertheless, he's asking the governor to just get him out of prison. Not that the conviction is going to be overturned, right, just that he gets out of prison. He is a convicted murderer. And I tell you, this parole board hearing, it's done by the parole board. So it's not given parole. It's not a parole case. It's a clemency case. Totally different. So we use those words interchangeably. We really shouldn't. He is guilty of first-degree murder. He will always be. The only issue, will he get out?
Likelihood of that happening?
0. Nothing. I can't believe it. And Judge Colombo told me that if this parole board gives a recommendation to the governor to let him out, the judge is going to write the parole board a letter saying, no way, keep him in.
It's interesting that his now ex-wife, first said, yes, I corroborate the story that it was a leg cramp, and then later says, you know what, actually, I recant that.
Yeah, basically said that he had Larry had total control over me. He murdered my children. So he doesn't have a lot of support. Now, the Innocence Project has taken this case, but I just don't think the odds are very good that he's going to get. Remember, this board, this is the fact-finding. They'll make a recommendation. They'll give it to the governor, only, though, if it's in favor of letting him out. I don't think it's going to get that far. But we'll see.